updating, trying to give me prices.
Someone made this bed, and I think it is a casket on his Dracula.
Well, it's Dracula's
Lair?
lair.
Is that what it was? Lair?
Something like that.
Ah.
So where are we supposed to go? Am I seriously supposed to jump down here?
Jump onto the web.
How?
Just sprint it and then just jump like a beast.
Oh god.
Oh, we're tied, by the way. If you mess this up,
nothing. I'm gonna.
I tried not to swear there, and it just came out.
Oh god. Okay,
Oh,
you.
there. See on the yellow block.
What yellow block?
Oh,
This one?
Oh, the yellow one. Oh god, Jen, get to it. We only have 3 seconds.
Oh god. Oh my god, I got nervous and I fell off.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
I was on it and then I got too nervous.
I think I died.
Wait, don't press it.
The flump happened.
Yeah, I'm still looking. Pilot usually has decent prices, but
No. Go
regional
back.
is a pain in the butt. It would be nice if they had one fixed all the way across price, but never.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Well, sugar. Not necessarily cheese.
I used to say hey guys 2 times. Come on.
Yep, Sierra Blanca is the next place. Let me try to find it.
That used to happen.
Ant!
Oh,
Yeah, I'm zooming in now.
oh
Yeah.
nostalgia. Nostalgia is biting.
Okay.
Nobody seems particularly hungry today. It's kind of funny.
Please.
See,
Big.
I am zoomed in as much as I
Dang
can be, and I'm
it.
not finding this gas station.
Not good.
Turning up some in Sierra Blanca.
No. That was one of the worst ever. Just because it was so laggy.
Google's being a real pain in the ass right now. They're like, oh, we don't see, we see there's a lot going on. Holy barkadoodle. Oh, they're just being a pain in the butt. They're like, we want to make sure you're a real person. Yeah, I'm a real person. Screw up. I don't even see a Loves or anything like that.
What?
Exxon is 253, Chevron is 260.
Okay.
Chevron's the one that's right off the freeway, though. Exxon,
Okay.
you'd have to kind of travel. Huh?
I named this ...
Jeez. Okay. Something. Not your favorite, but, whatever. Food is food at this point. Did Mom have to go? I didn't hear. I mean, Cindy.
This version. My mom got it for me. This.
I
Yeah,
don't recall
idea.
making a video.
Hey, did you eat?
Hold on. I'll be back streaming. I will be right back. I gotta eat.
Yeah, you do. Food's kind of important, bub. Mm-hmm. Sure. Now. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
May I have a muffin?
Yeah.
have a gift for you. Half of the muffin.
Thank you, but you need to eat this downstairs.
You're right.
Door.
Sorry about that. Guys. What just happened?
Hello guys, this is Ian here, and today we're playing the Battle Cats. Yes. So today, you see that up there, that's God. Cat God. And I got a bit of warm-ups.
Mario is a character that a lot of us obviously love. His universe is charming to say the least, and its colorful setting feels welcoming. We've guided this mustached hero on many adventures throughout the course of our lives as well. In some ways, his story has become engraved in us. Having played his games throughout my entire life, I grew attached to our red-capped plumber. Or past plumber. I guess Nintendo just mentioned he's not a plumber anymore. Anyways, even though I grew up in the 90s and felt like I've experienced a great deal of Mario's timeline, there's still a whole world that came before that point. This was an era that was largely undocumented simply because we didn't have the all-powerful internet allowing us to time.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up.
Rock. Okay, I'm done.
The Pokemon anime was something I watched diligently every morning before grade school. We always had to miss the last few minutes of the episodes because we had to make it to school on time, but it's something I certainly cherished. Of course, we vicariously joined Ash, Misty, and Brock on their grand adventure, but even when we weren't watching, we were still talking about it. Many questions plagued us as kids, especially given that this was probably the first anime we ever watched. Questions like, why is Team Rocket so awful at their jobs? Is Misty really changing the course of her life over a bike? And of course, why doesn't Brock ever open his eyes? This last question was surely the king of questions. Tons of different ideas raced through our heads as kids, and it turns out we weren't the only ones. Brock was a character we were definitely puzzled by. He seemed to be one of the most intelligent characters in the show, which made us think he was in his 20s. He was a certified creep when it came to the ladies, and he is solely responsible for leading me to believe that rice balls were delicious, jelly-filled donuts. And I believed that for a very long time. 4 kids ruined me, I swear. But Brock's most notable quality was his eyes, which appeared to be almost always shut. Why doesn't he open his eyes, you ask? That's the million-dollar question. If you've been around on the internet, you've probably heard many people debate this topic before. There's a ton of different ways to look at it, and the speculation is surely fun. When I was a kid, I legitimately thought Brock was blind upon first seeing him. Every character so far had actual eyes except for the gym leader, so it made me think he had other heightened senses or something. He was the daredevil of the Pokemon world. It didn't help that he was meditating in complete darkness when Ash first encountered him. Now of course, you also have to understand that I was a wee little boy who spent his time playing video games 24/7, and didn't pay much attention to the world around me. The concept of Brock's ethnicity wasn't even a thought in my mind yet. If lions for eyes were meant to represent something other than closed eyes, it was surely way over my head. But we'll talk about that in a bit. It wasn't too long until I started questioning our quote-unquote blind friend though. His perception of the world was simply too spot on, and he was like a creepy hawk who could sense any female from a mile away. The details he would share certainly would require vision as well, so I began to doubt my theory. However, it wasn't too long until we finally saw a glimpse of Brock's eyes, and we were left with some interesting takeaways. On one occasion, his pupils are absolutely tiny. On another, they are extremely large. Both of these are strange for several reasons, seeing as your eyes should adjust accordingly to the light when they are opened. But the more and more I thought about it, perhaps Brock was a tad darker than it seemed. This lighthearted fellow was keeping a secret from the world, and his eyes had the answers. What if Brock kept his eyes closed because they were dead giveaways that there was something strange about him? As if he could use Hyper Beam from his eyes just like Snorlax could. What, did you think I was gonna say something crazy like Brock is on drugs? Of course not. Oh my god. This explains everything. Why is Brock's pupil small when he opens his eyes, despite the fact that having your eyes closed all the time would make your pupils large? Heroin. Why would his pupils be abnormally large and almost appear to be dilated when they should be shrinking in sunlight? Heroin withdrawal. As defined on Wikipedia,
I'm streaming.
Huh? Yeah, you don't leave messes, bud. I told you to clean up your mess that you left in there earlier. Hello. Oh yeah? What happened? Yay. Jeez. Somebody's high. Huh. Great. God. He's dumb. Dumb butts, I swear, they're all dumb butts. Every single last one. Oh dear. Did you actually spill out? Ah, crap. Right. Oopsie. Mm-hmm. Ugh.
I'm back. Sorry.
Right.
Mydriasis is dilation of the eye's pupil, which can non-physiologically occur by disease, trauma, or drugs. This is when your pupil becomes abnormally large. Heroin, on the other hand, causes meiosis. Meiosis is the constriction of the pupil. However, mydriasis can occur when you start to rebound or go through withdrawal. When he's under the influence, his pupils are small, but when he starts to get antsy for his next dose, his pupils grow large. I suppose if your eyes were closed, though, one wouldn't be able to tell. Your behavior would certainly be off, though, and you would lose your self-control. Brock, our trustworthy Pokemon companion, is actually a closet heroin user. The real reason he becomes interested in medicine later on in the series is because of his addiction with substances. It's the next step for him. Perhaps he's even a dealer. Okay. Let's shelve the ideas that Brock is Daredevil blind. He is a hyper beam concealing Medusa, and that he's a drug lord addicted to his own product.
What up, friends? My name is Stan from Random Tens, and Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays. Now, I know lots of people love playing horror games around this time of the year, but to me there's nothing scarier than that one creepy or disturbing section of an otherwise
Okie dokie.
If we're gonna have a list about scary things in Nintendo games, it would be a crime not to include Luigi's Mansion. But to be honest, looking back on it, it's really not as scary as I remember it being. I mean, it has its moments, like the baby? Wait, how do I kill the baby again? How do I, and who could forget Bogmire? I could. I completely forgot this guy was a thing. His music is actually super good though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Oh yeah, I do. Got it. Yeah. Hello?
The scariest thing about Luigi's Mansion, in my opinion, is definitely the way Luigi's voice starts to get progressively more terrified the more damage he takes. What starts out as a pointless but charming little feature in the form of Luigi calling Mario becomes something far more disturbing and just sad. I always felt terrible when Luigi would get hurt because he's just constantly trembling and humming pathetically, and man, I feel bad about it. Significantly better game aside though, there also exists another Luigi's Mansion game, Dark Moon for the 3DS.
Hello?
And while it's by no means any scarier than the one on GameCube, there are certain things about it that really do get under my skin. Specifically the first 2 minutes inside the mansion. The nails on a chalkboard sound of a door creaking, like, I mean, really creaking. the whooshing noise of who knows what entering the room. And most creepy of all, what sounds like the undying breath of some sort of sinister specter. Can't take it! What kind of evil in the game? I can't take it! What kind of evil person put this in the game? Like, if I was this game's target demographic and decided to start playing late at night by myself, I honestly don't think I'd be able to keep looking for the poltergeist. I'd be way too scared. No shame. The audio component of games always scares me way more than the visual. This game is no exception. Fire Emblem games aren't exactly known for their scares, you say? Oh wait, you're right. No, you're wrong. It's a different kind of scare. Traditionally, games will scare you by throwing creepy monsters at you or filling the world with unsettling atmosphere. But Fire Emblem takes it a step further by giving you a cast of awesome and adorable anime character tropes and then killing them permanently. This leads to some serious suspense and incredibly frustrating moments, none of which are highlighted better than in the Fog of War sections. Fog of War is a mechanic that was, for better or worse, discontinued with the introduction of the 3DS Fire Emblem games. What makes it so terrible, aside from not being able to see anything, is that the enemy AI somehow has fog vision goggles and can mess you up immediately. In other words, you're the only one crippled by the fog, and they will punish you for it. Ho! Well, they punish you for it. But it's cool, we got this.
That was tasty. Sweet. We done?
Paper Mario Color Splash, despite its namesake, is a surprisingly dark and twisted game. The further you progress, the more you realize just how disturbed Bowser's army and the Shy Guys especially really are. Before we get to that, however, let me first say, this game is littered with insta-KOs. You can drown to death, get lavaed to death, run out of time to death, get trained to death, get crushed to death, and even make money to death. But the worst part is what happens after you die in battle. A mob of thirsty Shy Guys huddle up and literally suck the life out of you as the screen fades to white. Thanks for that, Nintendo. That's just fine. And speaking of Shy Guys, every time you save a big paint star, they reveal a memory of what happened to Port Prisma prior to you arriving. And what lies within those memories is honestly kind of disgusting. Look at all this. Am I just supposed to ignore the obvious innuendo? Avert your eyes, children. Don't look at the sun. There does exist, however, one guy that not even the most foul of straw guys speak of. Its name, Shundakai.
Mamma mia! Whoa! Mamma mia! Whoa!
When I think of horror and The Legend of Zelda, my first thoughts go, of course, to the Redeads and that which we do not speak of. As I'm sure is the case for most Zelda fans. But having played through Twilight Princess HD earlier this year, there's something I find a bit more horrifying. Not just because of how disturbing this scene that plays out is, but because of what it represents. That scene is Lineru's recounting of the Interloper War. Lineru, the spirit of light, explains that the land was created by the 3 goddesses, and for a time, peace reigned. But at the first sign of a sacred realm existing, a realm offering potentially unlimited power for its finder, even the best of friends found that they could cut each other down without a second thought. Seeing this represented in Ilya and Link especially, both characters meant to reflect absolute good, is more than a little bit harrowing. But it's an interesting tale in that it demonstrates the importance of understanding your limits and keeping yourself a sane, balanced individual in the face of obtaining great power. Seeing how best friends like Link and Ilya could just betray each other like that for the sake of obtaining more power, it cuts deep. Just like that knife.
You were close.
With dark and atmospheric worlds lacking in pretty much any sense of cheer or playfulness, it's arguable that the Metroid series is not very Nintendo for Nintendo, which may explain why it's dead. And so you think the series would be a shoo-in when it comes to a list of scary things in Nintendo games, and it is. Meet SAX. This diabolical monster is a perfect replica of Samus at her most powerful. And Samus begins the game at her absolute weakest, meaning if she runs into the SAX, well... Let's just say it'd be really awkward. There's definitely a palpable sense of dread whenever you encounter it. The game's sound designers do such amazing work with the limitations of the Game Boy Advance. It's incredible. When the music changes to an eerie sort of ominous synth and you suddenly hear the heavy yet precise footsteps of a creature hell-bent on killing you, I'm not gonna lie, it's terrifying. You know what's waiting, and you know it means one thing: death. Like, I was playing with my headphones off and kind of accidentally ran into it, and I swear, I screamed so loud my neighbor's dog started barking at 12 in the morning. Play Metroid responsibly, kids. But look, that may be the obvious choice, and was initially what I was gonna go with. But I recently played through Zero Mission for the first time in years, and I've changed my mind. The SAX may be scary, but you don't encounter it all that often, and when you do, it's pretty easy to avoid. That, and I beat it without taking a single hit of damage. I'm just so good at Metroid, you guys, you have no idea. The real scariest moment in Metroid for me would be the Zero Suit sections in Zero Mission. Basically, you're even weaker than you are at the start of Metroid Fusion, and to make matters worse, you're being hunted by an armada of space pirates, all of which are faster and, in your current state, even deadlier than the SAX. And look at this dude, trying everything he can to stop you from escaping. This guy is the real MVP. I mean, he's dead now, but...
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
You better have.
I did. Sorry guys, I have to stop this stream. See you.